Yo, what's going on, guys? It is time for another reaction video, and today we're going to be looking at 10 plus facts about Argentina. I'm wearing I think this is well, I know it's an Argentina soccer journey, but I don't know if it's specific to an area like at Buenos Aires or if there's different regions. I don't know all that, but I got this about 30 plus years ago, and the fact that I can still fit it is pretty amazing. It's a little bit tight, but one of my best friends that I've known since the fourth grade, when we got to junior high, he left to Buenos Aires to live with his grandparents for a few years and returned in high school. But he sent me this in about, I think around the seventh grade. So that would have put me at about 11 or 12 years old. So I've had this for about 30 to 32, 33 years, which is crazy to think. But anyways, completely off topic, but since we're doing Argentina today, I figured I'd go ahead and wear it. So let's get straight into the video.
Life and culture exists in many different places, from north, south, east, west, and all over the planet. It exists even in the barren Arctic tundra of the countries like Sweden or Iceland, to some of the desolate deserts within Pakistan and Egypt, and all the way to the jungles of Brazil and Argentina and South America. And here on FTD Facts, we are always very determined to learn about many different cultures.
Before I forget, FTD Facts is the name of the YouTube channel, so if you like this video, make sure to go check out FTD Facts as well.
And here on FTD Facts, we are always very determined to learn about many different cultures, people, and countries from around the world. And we like to look at what makes these places beautiful and amazing. So today, welcome to the country of Argentina, where we are going to discover what is great about it and learn some things that we may have never known before. Hey everybody, how's it going? Dave Walpole here. Welcome to FTD Facts, the channel where we talk about people, cultures, and places from all around the world. Now, for this video, I'm actually really excited to talk about it because, well, Argentina is just a country that we have not talked about yet, and actually we did a poll. We actually like to do a lot of polls here on the channel once a week, and we like to ask what countries you guys want to see next. And out of the 1,000 of you, well, more of you guys did recently, but out of the 1,000 that I saw, over 53% of you guys said we should talk about Argentina. Poor Ireland, it's just never gonna get picked, and Serbia as well. Now, before I get in this video, if you guys are huge on learning about countries and different places from around the world, well, you want to hit that subscribe button because that's what we do. Also, this video has been brought to you by Pirates of the Caribbean Tides of War, which is actually a really fun game for your phone. I'm going to get into that at the end of this video, but right now let's move on to the meat and potatoes and talk about Argentina. So let's first start off looking at the basics. Now, it has a population of 43,847,430 people as of a 2016 estimate. Now, keep in mind there has not been a census done since 2010, in which at that time the population was roughly a little bit over 40 million, so there's some growth since then. And during the 2010 census, it stood at the 30th largest country in the world when it comes to population. Now, scooting right over, let's take a look at the land size of this country. Now, it is quite a big country. As a matter of fact, it's one of the biggest in all of South America. And this country, Argentina, comes in at a land size of 2,780,400 square kilometers, making it the 8th largest country in the entire world with a water percentage of 1.5%. Guys, I don't know if that water percentage is based off of fresh water or if it's fresh water with, you know, ocean water as well. I'm assuming it's just fresh water, but that's the percentage we have. And although Argentina has some very interesting facts about its land size and landscape, we got to finish up talking about people and culture first. Because throughout all of this land size with the population, it has a population density of 14.4 people per square kilometer, making it rank at 214th in the world when it comes to the density of population. But who are these people? What kind of people live in Argentina? What kind of cultures do we have? Well, let's take a quick look. Now, Argentina is a country that is predominantly Roman Catholic, with over 77.1% identifying as that religion. About 10.8% identify as Protestant, and 10.1% identify as non-religious. And about 2.6% of the population follow other forms of religion that are not identified. And when I say unidentified, I mean like it's just there's no list to that, it just means other, right? Now for the demographics, when it comes to male and female, there's approximately 1 woman to 0.97 men. And for this country, they say there are about 40 different spoken languages in all of Argentina. Spanish or Espanol is actually number 1, and it is the 4th largest speaking Spanish country in the world, after Mexico, Spain, and even Colombia. As for English, they estimate that there's about 42.5% of the people who can speak it, and only about 15% of that have a high understanding of the English language and can use complex compound word structure. On top of that, there's also about 1.5 million speakers in Italian and about 1 million speakers in Arabic. As well, there are a bunch of other languages that are within the country, such as French, German, Yiddish, Japanese, and many more. So where does the word Argentina come from? What is the meaning behind this country? Every country generally has a meaning behind it, and Argentina does as well. Well, for Argentina, it is Latin for the word silver. And the reason for this is because many Europeans thought this new land was going to be loaded with silver. And as a matter of fact, they were correct, because it produces a lot of silver for the entire world.
Did not realize that. Latin for silver, and Argentina is known for silver mining.
We're correct, because it produces a lot of silver for the entire world. This is because when it comes to its silver on the silver list, it's ranked 10th in the world for producing this product. And this country actually has a lot of silver, and they say every single year it produces about 20.6 million ounces of silver. And the largest mine within Argentina is the Perquitas mine, which has about 74 million ounces of silver in its reserves, and is actually considered the largest silver mine out of any mine in the entire world. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
Now, to break this down even further, let's take a look at the GDP. Now, the gross domestic product purchasing power parity for Argentina sits at $959.528 billion, being approximately 25th in the world for GDP power. And it's
Not bad. 25th out of the whole world.
$1 billion, being approximately 25th in the world for GDP power. And its GDP per capita sits at $21,528, ranking 56th in the world. And because
If you know where this spot is at, tell me. I've seen it somewhere before with these colored tiles and the colored cobblestone. But yeah, I want to know where that's at. So if you know where that is at, tell me where that is. The aerial shot of the colorful sidewalks.
Because of this, Argentina is considered a middle emerging economy and being one of the top developing nations in the entire world. And to go a little further into understanding the power of Argentina, we should take a look at the exports and imports. For exports, they sit at $129 billion, ranking 45th in the world. And roughly 6% of their exports come from soybean meal, 7% of it comes from corn, soybean oil also makes up 6.9%. As well, they have a lot of other exports that are just not listed here today. And when it comes to this country, we should also mention that Argentina is one of the biggest agricultural producers in the entire world. And the reason for this is because agriculture provides up to 9% of its total GDP. And as well, on a side note, when it comes to their agriculture, their organic farming.
I had no idea, and they look like some local Texas cowboys right there, and this is in Argentina. That's pretty cool to know.
And as well, on a side note, when it comes to their agriculture, their organic farming sector is growing rapidly and currently has over 3 million hectares of organic cultivation, which actually has this country ranked 2nd in the world for organic farming.
Wow.
Right next to Australia, which sits at number 1. Also, if we're going to talk about exports, imports, and GDP and all that stuff, we gotta mention that Argentina is the 5th largest wine producing country in the world. It's great. And their wine is pretty darn good, I'm not gonna lie. As a matter of fact, Argentina sits at the 1st largest wine producing country in all of South America, with a region known as Mendoza being the largest region for producing wine. And this is because this particular region produces 2/3 of the wine that is produced by the entire country. It also should be noted that when it comes to the wines that are produced within this region, they are generally cultivated near Mount Aconcagua, making the wines produced within that area some of the highest produced wines when it comes to altitude.
I never would have guessed they were such high producers of wine as well. I'm not a wine connoisseur myself, but um, what you usually see in the stores on the shelves and things like that, I didn't realize that Argentina had such a big piece of the market.
Produced within that area some of the highest produced wines when it comes to altitude, generally being cultivated at an average height of 2,000 to 3,600 feet above sea level. And in 2008, reports had shown that Mendoza had approximately 144,000 hectares of vineyards. Now, one of the crazy parts is that this country actually consumes more wine than it actually exports. It's pretty nuts. They love their wine. This is because studies have shown that Argentinians consume approximately 90% of all the wine that is produced within the country,
Wow.
which equates to about 46 gallons a year in total, at least in 2006. Now, to go further into this economy, let's take a quick look at imports, because their imports sit at $128 billion, ranking 45th in the world, and their biggest imports are cars, refined petroleum, telephones, packaged medicaments, and other things of that nature. And considering we're talking about landscape and the region of Mendoza, we should probably talk about its provinces or states. So the question is, does Argentina have states or provinces? Well, firstly, Argentina is known as a federation, and because of that, it actually has 23 provinces and one autonomous city, with Buenos Aires being the most with population, having approximately
Did he say Buenos Aires instead of Buenos Aires?
one autonomous city. With Buenos Aires being the most with population, having approximately 15 to 17 million as for a 2018 estimate, it is also the largest province in the entire country, coming in with a total land size of 307,571 kilometers square. The smallest of this is Tierra del Fuego, with only approximately 164,000 people as of a 2018 estimate, but it is also the smallest province with a land size of 21,263 kilometers square. Now, that's not all when it comes to land size, because one thing we definitely gotta mention is mountains. So what is the tallest mountain in Argentina? Well, we did just mention it, and this is Mount Aconcagua, with a height coming in at 22,831 feet tall. And it's actually so big that it is the biggest mountain in the southern and western hemispheres. It's got a lot of rep. And for this particular mountain, it was first climbed to a complete summit by a Swiss explorer named Matthias Zurbriggen on January 14th of 1897. It also should be mentioned that this particular mountain was featured in the 1942 Disney cartoon called Pedro, which is about a small plane who goes on a mail mission and has to climb and get past this mountain, and the mountain does not make it easy. Now, as well, for the southern region of Argentina, there is also a lowland called Laguna del Carbon. And it is an area that is approximately 5 kilometers in length and 2 kilometers in width, coming in with a rough size of 9 kilometers square of surface area. And what's special about this region? Well, it is the lowest region in all of Argentina. It's really down low. As a matter of fact, it sits far below sea level, coming in at a total of negative 344 feet below sea level. And this region is not just the lowest in all of Argentina, but is the 7th lowest region in the entire world. Now, of course, you might think of Argentina, you may think to yourself, well, it's still a developing nation, but at one point, Argentina was a very, very powerful country. This is because in the year of 1913, it was listed as one of the 10th wealthiest countries in the world. And this is because of its fertile land and economic growth that it beat countries like my own country of Canada and even countries like Australia in population, income, and income per capita. And for this lasted until about the 1930s, and of course there are many speculations as to why Argentina kind of declined when it came to its economy. One of the biggest pointers is its military, because it took over the government way back in the day. But keep in mind there were other things that were happening, such as the Great Depression, which lowered the country's GDP. But it should be also known that until about 1962, it still had one of the highest GDPs, beating countries like Austria, Italy, and even its former country, Spain. And perhaps next time we will get into more of a history of this great and powerful nation and learn more about what makes this country so unique and amazing. My name is Dave Walpole, guys, and I want to thank all you guys for tuning in and learning about Argentina, and I want to thank all you guys for getting into our polls, our weekly polls. We usually like to put them on Sundays. We were a little late last week, but we like to ask you guys, give you guys 3 choices of which countries you want to see next, just to build some excitement because you guys know what's coming. Also, just to remind you guys, this video has been brought to you by Pirates of the Caribbean Tides of War. Now, this is a really fun game, guys. I actually do have it on my phone. I do love playing with it, especially like if I'm just sitting around doing nothing, I'm like, oh yeah! Stay tuned and informed with us every single day. But either way, this has been the country of Argentina, a beautiful and noble country where its regular folks try the hardest to get through the struggles of life and to make great memories for themselves and their loved ones. A country that may have seen rough times, but through its scars of history, we find the beauty of its heart. This is the people, culture, and country of Argentina. For no matter how hard the elements may become, it'll always bloom through the sands of time.
Cool video. I need to check out I need to find a video that's got like the top 10 places to visit in Argentina. I was hoping that this would have covered some of that, but this one was more factual, which is fine because I learned a lot from watching this video. But yeah, and quick shout out to my buddy Chris. If you happen to be watching this video for some reason, I'm wearing the shirt you gave me 30 plus years ago. Let me know next time you're going back home to Buenos Aires to visit family. I'd love to tag along and check out Argentina and have a personal tour guide per se. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe. Click that bell so you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. And tell me in the comments where you are watching from. Where in the world are you watching from? And do I have any people in Argentina checking this out? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.